Despite a few minor issues, our second expedition to the courtyard had been a success, and at Ronwin's goading, many of the recruits came together to celebrate at the local tavern. The festivities may have been a bit excessive, running well into the night until the taps had literally run dry. Even Henrik and the King's Rook were in attendance, sampling some of the wines they had recovered from the courtyard, despite Henrik's repeated insistence that they had important work to do. The revelry eventually dwindled until only a handful of our most enthusiastic recruits remained. Sober goaded a few of them into whiling away the rest of the evening with games of chance, while Ronwin simply took her pick of the one she fancied the most before retiring to one of the back rooms for an entirely different brand of recreation. With the hour growing late, I politely excused myself, and I was intercepted by Bunny on the way back to my lodgings. She had been reluctant to pull me away from the impromptu gathering, but now that it was over, she had urgent need of my attention. Despite my growing exhaustion, I decided I could spare at least a few minutes. I followed her to the sanitarium. There, she was quick to introduce me to a new face, a grim bear of a man who was apparently named Fox. She explained that this was the companion that she and Rowan had been waiting for when we had first met. He was also the man who had secretly helped her track down the necromancer's lair. I'll admit, I was somewhat off-put by their decision to keep me out of the loop. Fox was quick to take the blame. He had wanted to keep his distance until he was sure I could be trusted. Now, however, a complication had come up, and my direct involvement was required to help resolve it. Bunny led me deeper into the sanitarium to one of the more secure cells. There I was introduced, well, reintroduced I suppose, to Dim Inara Faden. She was significantly paler than before, and she did seem a bit confused, but she was far more alive than she had seemed when I had attended her funeral. It was quite a shock, of course, but I suppose in retrospect it really shouldn't have been. Given the nature of necromancy and the rumors that Dim Inara herself had somehow been responsible for the recent vandalisms in the graveyard, it certainly answered a few outstanding questions. Fox calmly explained that while the necromancer had taken great pains to remain hidden, it had been almost laughably easy to track the disoriented woman's trail back to the necromancer's lair. Afterwards, he had simply reported his findings to Bunny and Rowan, and, well, I knew the rest from there. Dim Inara seemed skeptical, of course, but even she admitted to some rather alarming gaps in her memory. She remembered arriving at the hamlet, meeting me for the first time, and accompanying the others to the ruins. She remembered the searing pain of an axe biting deep into the side of her neck, and the shouts of the others as Rowan had desperately tried to staunch the flow of blood. Everything after that was hazy, like some half-remembered dream. She dimly remembered waking up in strange surroundings, and being beckoned into the woods by some ghostly figure. After that, the next thing she remembered was waking up again in the sanitarium. Now, she was simply eager to get back to work. She understood our concerns, but was rapidly growing tired of being poked and prodded by doctors and priests. She was the one who had insisted that Bunny summon me to the sanitarium so I could act as the final arbiter of her fate. It was certainly a strange situation, but given the circumstances, I had to agree with her assessment. The finer details really didn't matter. What did matter was that she had been dead and now she had miraculously returned to life, and I certainly wasn't going to begrudge her the opportunity to continue working for me. There were objections, of course, but in the end we came to a compromise. Carol would accompany Dim Inara on a simple expedition to the coves, keeping her under close observation all the while. Fox and Gwydden would tag along as well, just in case things got out of hand. If all went well, then Dim Inara would be welcomed back into the fold. Honestly, given the nature of some of our recruits these days, she would hardly be the strangest among us.
The smell of rotting fish is almost unbearable.
Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to episode 11. Today we're on a pretty basic, low-level quest out in the coves. Let's start off by taking a quick look at the heroes we're working with. Gwydden. Fox. Dim Inara Faden. Carol von Grunig. Okay, now let me go back real quick. Yeah, I spelled Dim Inara's name wrong. I'll just fix that. There we go. Let's get started. Like I said, today we're on a pretty straightforward mission. The intent here is to just break in a couple of our new rookies, Fox and Dim Inara, so we'll mostly be playing it safe this time around. The last thing I want to do is get Dim Inara killed again. Speaking of which, we've got a fight on our hands, though we do have the element of surprise. Let's see if we can pull that caster up front. Nice. Now let's take advantage of it. Ah, that's a shame. Alright, Dim Inara, prove your worth.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Not bad. Now we just need to take out the other two fishmen.
Formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
There's something very satisfying about punching monsters to death. Oh, nice. Fox and Dim Inara seem to be doing pretty well for their debut adventure. Of course, now I've jinxed it. Okay, let's wrap this up so we can move on.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Overall, I'd say that went pretty smoothly. We got a decent amount of gold, too. Oh, there's a coral formation. We can use that to get rid of a negative quirk. Let's see here. Okay, let's see if we can get rid of that locked quirk. Well, not the one we were going for, but better than nothing. At least it'll stop Carol from trying to eat rotting carcasses. We've got a trap ahead of us. Okay, Dim Inara can handle it. Or not.
Mechanical hazards, possessed by evil intent.
I don't think I actually remember this curio. Let's try holy water first. Well, that didn't work. What about medicine? Still nothing. Alright, we'll just interact with it normally then. Huh. Okay, it provides a resistance buff. Good to know. Let's move on. Looks like another fairly straightforward fight. Let's take these guys out quick. I'm glad to see Dim Inara 2.0 is a bit harder to hit than the original model.
A decisive pummeling. Soothed. Sedated.
Ooh, time to punch more monsters. Nice. Now that I think about it, uppercut kind of makes flashbang redundant.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Okay, another nice, easy fight under our belt. Just 4 more rooms to go. There's a giant fish carcass. But we're all out of herbs. Alright, we'll just search it by hand. Someone put a trap in this dead fish. I'm not sure what to think about that. Oh, come on. Can I get through a single adventure without running into these guys? Alright, let's make this quick. That axe is a little underwhelming. Fox should really just keep punching things. Oh, very nice.
A death by inches.
Now we just need to take out those mosquitoes. I think they can still infect us, but they're definitely less dangerous than the supplicants. Okay, that buys us some time for healing. Actually, maybe we shouldn't tempt fate. I guess we should really kill this thing before it ends up infecting someone.
This expedition at least promises success.
And moving on. I'd say this is another medium difficulty fight. Nothing we can't handle. Dim Inara is in pretty bad shape there. I don't think there's anything Gwydden can do to really help Dim Inara, so we'll just focus on taking these things down. Nice. 1 down, 3 to go.
Impressive. Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Let's see if we can buy some time for a bit of extra healing. Well, it wasn't much, but at least it was something.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Okay. Our health totals are lower than I would like, but we survived another fight.
Such a burden of finery risks life and limb.
Just 3 more rooms to go. There goes the last of our food. Hopefully that won't end up being a problem. Oof. This is definitely a tougher fight. At least we've got surprise on our side. Let's see if we can take out one of those groupers. Very nice. Adder's Kiss seems like a pretty powerful move. Okay, let's go for the caster.
Masterfully executed.
I have to say, our rookies are really impressing
A
me.
momentary abatement. Surgical precision.
Gwydden doesn't really have any good options here. Let's just clear one of those corpses instead. This fight is taking longer than I'd like, but at least it's giving us plenty of time to heal. Fox will just keep pummeling that Guardian with his fists.
death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
There we go. It took a while, but a win's a win.
Ornaments. Neatly ordered. Lovingly admired.
Okay, we're getting pretty close to the end of the quest here. Let's clear the last couple of fights, and then we'll douse our torch and double back to finish looting. I don't really remember what to do with this curio either. Let's try tossing our last holy water at it. Okay, nothing happened. Let's just interact with it normally. It clearly just made a sound effect like something bad happened, but I don't think Dim Inara actually gained a negative quirk. I'm not going to complain. Wow, the RNG really wants us to get infected.
A singular strike.
Sadly, these things are pretty punch-resistant. Fox will have to use his axe this time around. Very nice. Let's see if we can take out another one before they get to go.
Injury. Palpable fear.
Yikes. That's some pretty serious damage on Gwydden. Still, I guess I'd rather get blighted than infected with the Crimson Curse. Let's get Gwydden on the defensive.
The blood quickens.
Gross. Please kill this thing. Thank you.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
2 more rooms. How many more fights can they possibly throw at us? Huh. I'll admit, I was expecting to run into a fight right after I finished saying that. I think I'm actually a little disappointed that we didn't.
Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose.
Last room. And of course, we've got one more fight. That's just one more chance for someone to die.
Perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
Well, I brought this on myself. Gwydden's in serious trouble. Nothing Fox can do about that, though. But Carol certainly can. There we go. It's not much, but at least it gives Gwydden a bit of a buffer. Okay, let's focus fire here.
Be
Or we can take them out in one hit. That works too. Just 2 more to go. We just need to last a little longer. One more left, but 3 of our 4 heroes are in the danger zone. Thank goodness. As always, that was a bit closer than I would have liked.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Fortunately, at this point we're pretty much done. We know there aren't any more fights in the dungeon, so now we can just enjoy some nice, relaxing looting. Let's douse our torch before we crack this chest open.
Darkness closes in, haunting the hearts of men. Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Not great, but as always, better than nothing. Disappointing. Alright, we've got all the treasure we can carry, so let's go home.
Despite its morbid aspect, this twisted, cavernous maze seems almost traversable.
That's actually a pretty respectable amount of treasure. But next time I think we'll try our first full dark run. As usual, the quirks are a mixed bag, but at least everyone survived this time. Alright, we're coming up on the 30-minute mark, so we'll pick up here next time. See you then.